Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach under the sun. Reason why there's no such coaching like my coaching anywhere on the internet. Nobody has the program that I've developed in the last 8 years that I've been coaching different people, all different walks of life, and nobody spends as much time on their clients like I do. All the information from me is below on my website. There are 3 coaching packages that I recommend. In each scenario, you will need to spend 2 to 3 months minimum in order for me to complete the coaching program with you. We interact 2 to 3 times per week, okay, whether that's the audio exchange, the Zoom sessions, or the phone conversation. The Phone Deluxe and Unlimited package also includes interaction by email with me as well as texts. Like I said, we talk 2 to 3 times per week. I record that session. The session lasts an hour. In each scenario, everything's recorded for me to play back and listen to everything that was said in order for me to take my extensive notes. Everything is really important to me in my coaching because I really need to understand who is the person in my coaching, what is the mosaic of your mind, and how I can help you transform your life and your blueprint, i.e. beliefs. And so my coaching is unlike any other coaching also because I'm very, very thorough, okay? Everything matters to me, every single detail, especially your history. And so we cover everything from childhood all the way up until today. Your mom, your dad, your guardian, what have you, your siblings, your relationships, divorces, etc., etc. Then we do the processes that you need to do in order to let go of certain things and reconfigure your beliefs. And then and only then do I proceed to work on manifesting a new you, okay? So a lot of people on the internet are under the false, complete, delusional impression, okay, that is fed just about all over the YouTube, all over the internet, that manifesting takes like a second to learn. It isn't true. And it leads to a lot of unsatisfied people walking around. You really need to do the work on yourself first and then learn how to manifest. It's impossible to learn how to manifest easily and quickly without doing the work on yourself. And quite frankly, I was thinking before recording this, I was actually going to record something completely different, but I was inspired to do this first. If somebody, 15, 20 years ago pulled me aside with all the problems that I was having in my own relationships and told me, look, you're going to have to spend 2 to 3 months in coaching with someone who knows what they're doing, but you're going to have to focus and to really zero in on the things that you really need to address in your past. Is it comfortable? No, it's not, because you're going to have to face yourself, maybe for the first time in your life. All the drama, trauma, panorama, the pile of garbage, which metaphorically represents all your beliefs that do not serve you and all the emotions that do not serve you from past experiences. They're still there. You can ignore them all you want, but they're going to come up in people over and over and over again. This is why you guys, a lot of you, manifest the same story over and over again. It isn't until you learn on how to work on yourself and do work on yourself that you get to learn how to manifest quickly. The truth is you're already manifesting quickly and effortlessly. It's just that you're manifesting not what you want, okay? So in order to start manifesting what it is you want, you need to become the person that you want to be. Okay, really quickly, I want to explain something new. Last night, I added the private club, okay, for my YouTube channel. And YouTube, for whatever reason, doesn't let you price things higher than $500, even though my private club is $750 on my website. I wanted to try it. And so here's the deal. For those of you who will join on YouTube, okay, will have access to membership-only videos and audios, the same ones that will be, available to people who access on my website, who purchase on my website. The difference is the person who purchases the private club on my website will then have an hour of my time on the phone phone or on Zoom, whichever you prefer, to answer any questions once a month. Okay, so, I couldn't raise the price on YouTube, so basically I had to accommodate the people from my website somehow, so I guess everybody wins. And so I posted a short on my in my videos explaining how to join, because actually for whatever reason it doesn't, if you're on your iPhone, you're not on your desktop, it doesn't appear, like if you go to my channel it doesn't say join. You're going to have to go through the instructions that are in my post, and it's also in the video. You need to go through Chrome, you need to tap in youtube.com, you need to tap on the three dots on the right side, select desktop, request desktop site, and then you find Magic and Miracles channel, my channel, and then you tap on my face, and right underneath it you will see join, and that's how you join. Okay, I'm posting these twice a week, these long form audios. Like I'm about to record something tomorrow. It's going to be like a lecture. It's going to be like an hour long, and it's probably going to be a face video. And these are things that I will be discussing in my book. And in a sense, I'm kind of recording it also for myself, because it helps me write my book this way. Okay, I have a ton of notes, but I wanted to talk through it so that I have more channeled kind of material. And so you get, the front row of my book being created. And I mean, chances are you will get way more than will go into my book, because the book cannot be like 1,000 pages. Okay, so that's what that is. But ultimately, of course, my coaching is the best option here if you really want to make a change. The best thing is to pre-book and email me with your coaching agreement signed and dated, and then we connect over the phone for the first time and discuss what we need to work on. All right, if you have any questions, comment below or email me directly. Okay, so the subject of today is how to switch roles with your SP. Okay, so a lot of you have this situation, which is why I was going to discuss something else, but I want to address this. And when the inspiration hits me, it usually means that somebody needs to hear it, or a lot of people need to hear it. Okay, so a lot of you have the same more or less situation where something went wrong in the relationship and the SP chose somebody else, or disappeared, abandoned you, wronged you in some way, right? And here you are hurt. Maybe they divorced you. Maybe they, you never heard from them again, ghosted you, whatever the situation is, right? And so you're presented with the situation where it's like really confusing. What have I done wrong? Kind of like it's a victim desperation mode. Okay. And you really, really want to reverse this as soon as possible. So again, I'm going to use myself as an example. When I was going through my drama panoramas back in my early 20s in particular, a lot of drama, because I didn't understand myself. I didn't understand what I had to work on. Okay, and again, if somebody pulled me aside and said, look, I know how to help you, please just listen to what I have to say, which is why in my coaching, listen, if you're coming into my coaching, you need to start being humble and understand that I'm on your side and I'm here to help you, not to battle me. And this is not a matter of opinion. I know exactly what I'm doing. And if you're not going to take my suggestions, well, then, I don't know, I don't know what you're doing then. People who take my suggestions excel in my coaching all the time. And so what I would say to my younger self, my 20-year-old self even, when I would be crying, when I would be upset over somebody behaving a certain way, or them preferring somebody else and this, that, and the other, or just being disrespectful, I'd be like, look, get up. Get your shit together. You're strong. Let's figure out why this happened. Let's fix it so it never happens again. Crying my ass, it doesn't really help anybody. Okay, so it starts with you. So to shorten the time between what you're doing right now, which is not productive at all, looking them up on social media, thinking about who they're with or what they're doing, or blaming yourself, or revisiting conversations in your mind and, doing all this stuff. Forget it. It's yesterday's newspaper. Today is a brand new day. You need to understand why this happened, which is why in my coaching, it's not about blame, right? It's about really learning what you're made of, what your beliefs are made of. Why do you create this shit? And this goes for everything. This goes for money, for career, anything at all. Career, business relationships, any area of your life right now that is not, up to par. Okay, the ESP is the least of your worries. It usually is, kind of everything. Okay, the ESP just like is a signal that, kind of like everything is not going really well. Okay, but if we're taking SP, you really need to understand why you created the situation. That's job one. And don't say you didn't, because you did. It clearly is your situation. Who else's, right? And again, it's not to blame or feel bad about yourself. It's being accountable for what you created thus far and understanding why you created this, right? So if you're not going to understand why you created this, what kinds of beliefs you have going on, then you're going to repeat the same experience, and usually it just gets worse and worse. Okay, if you can manage, to pull back your energy, to calm down and relax and stop stressing about the situation, even for an hour at a time. It's kind of like when somebody, quits some destructive habit. This is destructive. Being in that stress, in that complete desperation is destructive. It's a destructive habit. You're not going to achieve your dreams and goals this way. So you might as well drop it. It's not going to give you anything beneficial. It's just going to completely, not go. If it's not this person, it's going to be somebody else who is going to continue acting this way towards you. What you need to do is pull back your energy and relax and start focusing on yourself. And I know this is probably going to be really hard for you to listen to right now if you're in this position where you're like quasi-depressed and this and that and the other. But the best cure is to pull back your energy and focus the energy on yourself. Go take a bubble bath. Go smell the roses. Go see a funny show. Go take a walk in the park. All right? Go talk to a nice friend, but not about your fucking ex. About something completely different. Something that has to do with you. Stop making the problem bigger. And so you become about yourself. Whether that's, you start investing in yourself, in coaching, whether that's you listen to nice music, whether that's you start coming up with ideas for a new business. You need to invest heavily in yourself in all ways, just as much as you are heavily invested right now in obsessing over this somebody and hanging on their every fucking text and rereading it and obsessing like what they're doing right now and this, that, and the other. This is a lot of energy going out. And I'll tell you something else, which is like so important. I'm about to drop the golden nugget. Ready? This person who may not be talking to you right now, and who is not behaving the way that you want them to behave, or who's like completely not in the picture at the moment, they feel your energy across the distance. They are like winning the lottery of energy every single day when you give them so much fucking energy for no fucking reason. They're not here. They're not being nice to you. They're not, being, apologetic, this, that, and the other. Why the fuck are you giving them so much energy? Reverse that situation and cut them loose, quite frankly, and make it about yourself. And again, not in a narcissistic way, just like I always say, but I am loving myself way. It's about fucking time I focus on myself and attend to things. And let me guess, a lot of things are in disarray in your life right now. Am I right? Yeah, I usually am. This is the least of your worries right now. Turn it completely around. Like, look at this. You are the golden Buddha. You're made of gold. You're made of money, ideas, creativity, magic, and miracles and you're focused on one single fucking person, this equation doesn't work. This is backwards, completely backwards. The audience should be him, not you. You are the bigger picture here. He should be the one, or she should be the one chasing after you. Okay? You're the star of the show. You're the fucking production. You're the Oscar winning, actor or actress, or you're the, motion picture that won like Golden Globes and Oscars galore. And you're the one chasing after this idiot? No. Excuse me. Reverse that shit. You are not to stress about anything. And even if they're not an idiot, okay? I just said it, kind of whatever. Mockingly, you need to completely relax and stop stressing about it and understand that if you're stressing about the situation will only get worse and worse and worse. And again, this could be for anything. This goes for anything, any situation, any person, you name it, whatever. If you're stressing about money, it's the same story, la la la. Instead, have them stress over you. Do you see how this energy world works? Where you give so much energy to something, it has no reason to reciprocate because you're domineering over the situation. Pull back a little or a lot. Cut them loose completely and be like, you know what? I've done enough of chasing energetically too. Energetic chasing is chasing too. It's about time that you do something. You come and apologize. You make things right. You bend over backwards for me to forgive you. Go to the end of earth as far as I'm concerned for me to forgive you. Present me with 1,000 red roses for me to forgive you. Champagne, fuck a bottle of champagne. Buy me a winery, okay? Come sing me love songs at my window. Then I'll think about talking to you, period, okay? Let them obsess, let them catch the wind of you not giving a fuck anymore. Okay, you've done enough, trust, and you never needed to do that much, never needed to stress. You needed to be like, whenever they said something to you, I'm going with the third party, I'm doing this and I'm leaving, or they never said anything to you, you'd be like, fine. You're the one who's going to miss out. You're the one who's, losing out on a love affair of a lifetime. And quite frankly, I'm incomparable, unforgettable. And again, this is not said in a narcissistic way, but in an appreciation way towards yourself. Because if you truly understand who you are and you've invested in yourself, you do have the self-esteem and self-love to say, yeah, I am unforgettable. Because I know what I bring to the table. I'm beautiful inside and out. I'm a good person. I have a good heart. I do deserve better. Therefore, I'm not going to lower myself to these depths of fucking bullshit where I'm lowering myself, lowering my self-worth. And for what? Not for anybody, not for anything. And so this change of tide will start occurring if you're pissed off enough. Some of you are not pissed off enough, okay? I feel like, sometimes you really need to get pissed off enough to start really craving amazing change and drastic change and work hard at it, okay? If you wishy-washy about it, no, don't do coaching with me, please. I want people who are deliberate about change, okay? I don't want just toe in the water and just a phone call with you. No, I want results. There's nothing more that makes me happy when the person gets results in my coaching, okay? It makes me so happy. I'm just beyond comprehension, over the moon happy. But if you're wishy-washy, please stay over there. You're not hungry enough yet. You're not, I don't want to say desperate, but you're not pissed off enough. You're not deliberate enough yet to really want to have a change. Every time I had a change, an amazing, drastic, overnight change in my life, I was like, I've fucking had it. This is how it's gonna go from now on, and that's it. And can I tell you something? The universe obeys. I'm like, okay, she means business. Let's go, guys. My, guides and guardian angels. It's it really just kind of cutting butter. Become a butter cutter, okay? but cutting butter with a really hot knife. That's who you are. That's how on purpose and deliberate you have to be. And so if you're the queen and the golden Buddha or the king of your universe, you get to ignore two things, 3D and 3P. Forget that shit. Everything is created out of your intentions, thoughts, and emotions anyway, which is why the work on yourself is of paramount importance. But who the fuck is this 3P anyway? You know, I've for in the beginning when I started discussing these third parties, I was a little bit hesitant, but because I didn't want to glorify the whole idea. But the 3P is just another circumstance that you've created to show yourself something. Okay. Lack of, self-esteem, lack of self-worth, all of these things. Well, of course, somebody's going to replace me, and hoopla, here is the person. Okay, or you've manifested them already being, in a relationship. This is also lack of self-worth, self-esteem. Otherwise, why would you manifest an unavailable person? Look, everything is changeable, right? With integrity and with, the intention of it working out in the interest of everybody, in the best interest of everybody involved. However, it is worth mentioning that if you are manifesting these situations, it's for a reason. Okay. And so if you are in a position like that, you do need to ignore it, but you need to understand what you want from the situation and what is the truth of the situation. Okay. What are you really like after here? And what is the how did you create the situation? Again, if you don't understand how you created it and what you need, what you're dealing with now, you can't change it. Okay. If you don't know what color you're looking at, in other words, simplistically put, you can't continue picking other colors that are in harmony with it. Or maybe say, I don't like this fucking color. I want color green or whatever it happens to be. I'm changing the canvas and that's what I want. But in essence, a third party is just as important as a change of weather. It really doesn't matter. And I know it's a personification of your fears, etc., or insecurities. However, it's just as important as a change of weather. Tomorrow, it can shine again if you just change your mind about certain things, about self-worth, and start understanding that it's actually all about you, not about the third party and not about your dearest SP. That's a whole other shift of perspective, which allows you to finally reclaim your power and stop feeling like a victim in this circumstance, because you are certainly not. How could you be the victim, possibly be the victim, if you've created the situation from scratch? It's completely totally not logical, okay? And so there's a tide is changing. You still are going to observe the situation that you created, okay? The echoes of the past, I call them, okay? The story will kind of fizzle out eventually if you're persistent enough, but you need to understand that what you've been doing up until today, you've done this for a number of years. Okay, decades in some cases. And so it's going to take some time, not decades, not years, but persistent intention, maybe a month, maybe two. It will, I don't know your situation, you know your situation, depending on the person's intensity, again, willing to change and doing the work that they need to work with patience, not impatiently, with grace and patience. Okay, you will start seeing the shift. Okay, but you need to invest time in it. Again, it doesn't happen overnight. There is no easy fix. Guys, forget about it. Okay, again, if you're one of these people who is let's hurry up and let's learn manifestation, Anna, tell me your, jewel box or tricks of the trade, forget it. I don't want you in my coaching because you're just going to drive me fucking crazy. And it happened to me a couple of times, and people could not wait to get to the end of my coaching where I teach energy work, and that's really powerful. But you really need to complete all of my steps of the coaching, okay? It's backwards. You're starting from the end, and I really need you to focus on every step of my coaching and not rush through it, because you're going to it's going to be impossible for you to understand understand what I'm going to teach in the energy work, okay? You're not doing yourself a service. You certainly are going to stress me out, and I work most efficiently relaxed. You need to be able to invest time in it. There's no other way. There's no easy fix, 2 to 3 months minimum, okay? And if that sounds like a lot to you, I'm sorry, but chances are you've lived in dysfunction for years or decades, like I said. So this is like a minimal investment because of the fact that you're changing it once and for all. I think that's the most wonderful investment ever, okay? If somebody gave me this proposition, like I said, when I was 20, 21, whatever, I'd be like, sure, where do I sign? I'll do whatever. Seriously, though. The amount of money wouldn't stop me. The exercises wouldn't stop me. I would be right there because I was definitely looking for things to, I didn't understand how all of this worked back then. But eventually, when I was in my late 20s, I realized what I needed to do and how I needed to do it. Because I started to do the work on myself. Very simple. And so the switch of the roles happens in this manner where you're putting things back in order. Okay, you're making it about yourself. You're heavily investing in yourself. You understand that the past story is going to fizzle out if you're deliberate and insistent enough. Okay, that you need to ignore the 3D and the 3P, like I said. And finally, you need to relax and let them stress, pull back your energy. Okay, don't be so generous with energy that it's overwhelming and the person just doesn't come back with anything. Okay, again, I've said this many times on my channel, you can spoil the most benevolent person if you overwhelm them with energy. You need to have a dance with the person. Give them a little, wait for the comeback. Give them a little, wait for the comeback. And finally, I want to close with this. Be careful what you wish for. Okay, because seriously now, there are people who sometimes come into my coaching and say, scripting doesn't work for me, hasn't worked for me. And then I teach them how to actually do it correctly. And they write, like in the beginning, when they're convinced what they actually want, from their SP or whatever it is. Usually it's SP, which is the burning topic everybody is so, involved in. They're convinced that they want this SP, they want to marry them, they want them to come back and have children with them and all this kind of jazz. And so we work on these things, and by the time, though, the coaching is approaching the end and things start to happen, a person might change their mind. Okay, because keep in mind, you will become a different person in my coaching if you do this correctly and pay attention and show up prepared to do the work. And so be careful what you wish for, because everybody shows up and starts telling me, I want them to be obsessed with me. I want them to propose to me. I want them this, that, and the other, to have children with them. This will happen. This will happen. And some people, I'm not even bragging on me. This is just the process. It is what it is. Okay. The universe doesn't take jokes. Okay. And so when it does happen, this person, like I said, the echoes of the past fizzled out. And now you're living the story that you wrote. It's fully, developed. It's here in physicality, and this person can't stop calling you, can't stop texting you, can't stop showing up to your house, can't stop like begging you and pleading you, and like obsessively so. And the person is calling me like, Anna, what the fuck did you do? What did I do? What did you do? I told you this was going to work. Okay, so be careful what you wish for. Okay, you might change your mind. So be sure, in other words, that that's definitely what you want, because it will come true. It will definitely. So this is why, when people say scripting doesn't work, it's just they don't know how to do it. Okay, they don't know, which is why it's so important, right? So working on yourself, your history, your beliefs in the beginning, cleaning the slate, then, processing the emotions, and then going through the techniques that I offer. I'm not going to go into this. It's you can find how my coaching is different down below. There's a whole video about it. And then towards the end, the manifestation and the energy work. And the energy work, let me tell you something, doesn't exist anywhere. Nowhere on the internet. And this is something that really helped me. Even when I was a child, I taught it myself, and it worked like It's actual literal magic is what it is, if you really understand how to do it. And so just understand that this is definitely going to work if you dedicate time to it and don't rush through it, okay? And of course, understanding that you are the golden Buddha and you have such power that it's going to blow your socks off. If you're in fear, if you're doubting yourself, if you don't have the self-love, it's not going to work because the energy is just not coherent with, I'm powerful, I have everything. I don't come from desperation, I come from abundance. Two completely different energies. And so you really need to work in your coaching, understanding that you've always been abundant, that you've always been powerful, okay, which is why these kinds of behaviors of chasing and crying, it's not the truth. And so switching roles with your SP is a piece of cake once you understand and truly work through understanding who you really are and who you've always been. And then, of course, like I said, be careful what you wish for. You'll get everything and more. You'll get this guy to apologize. They'll be playing your role that you're playing today, crying and begging and, literally, genuinely begging and apologizing, changing their ways for you. Anything at all you want them to do. And this change will be permanent. I don't care what they did before. This change this is a completely different person because you've created them. Now that you understand how powerful you are, you've pulled back your energy, you know that you don't need to chase or run around. This will be your creation that is completely different. Why? Because you're different. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions, my email is below. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.